Welcome back this morning to our next webinar. Hope you guys have been working away on your projects and getting lots done and deciding what you're going to do to work on Saskatoon water attitudes. So, again, a little bit about our foundation. We've been going for quite a while, since 1998. And if any of you guys ever need more information about what we do, or have questions about water quality, or really just even want to learn more about water issues throughout Canada, you can always go to our website right here. We've got a link. Again, this competition, we've already been over the prizes and what the goal is, so I won't touch on that too much, but just a reminder that the majority of your project needs to be taking place here in Saskatoon. So now that hopefully you guys have decided what you want to investigate and what issue you kind of want to deal with, you're going to use your survey and the data you got from that survey to come up with a plan on how you're going to educate the community on the issue and create informational material to help you out. So you're going to use the answers you got, and you're going to use the data that you've collected to figure out what people don't know, and then you're going to figure out how to teach them what they don't know. So have you guys both picked your issue?
That's after this.
Next after this, okay. And so, questions before we go on? Any questions about the issue you guys have been considering or anything like that? Good? Okay, so let's talk a little bit. So once you have your data and after you've completed your survey, the best thing that you can do is create a plan that revolves around that data. So, like that, if most of your community doesn't know the answer to a certain question, like where does your water come from, what you want to do with your project is really focus on teaching about that answer. So to maximize the positive change that you're making through this project, you really, really want to focus on the issue that most people don't know about it. And that's how you're going to educate the most people and change attitude. So since you're trying to create a change that you can actually quantify, which means write down or get marks and numbers on, you are going to want to talk to the people that you're trying to educate on what actions can create that change. So an example of that is you want to talk to people about the amount of water that could be saved by limiting use of certain appliances. So you want to tell them how much water could be saved if you make sure that your dishwasher is all the way full completely before you run it, or if you shower and only shower for the time you need to really get clean and not just to hang out in there and think for a while. So when we're discussing education and how you can educate your community, remember one of the things you must do for this project is educate people on where the water comes from. Other than that, be sure to make sure that you ask that in your survey and in your follow-up. And again, after they've been taught about the water source, you want to write down how many people have remembered that answer and knowledge you changed and who you were able to teach more about. So you really got to make sure that you're recording how many people you taught and how many people now know where their water comes from compared to before when you talked to them. So also make sure that you're filling out your survey when you're doing it. Understand that some people might just want to give oral answers, and that's fine, but just make sure that someone's always writing down all that answers so you can keep track of it really well, and so that you can have good data to know how many people you're changing the minds of. And so also remember to keep track of everyone who takes the survey, because you can't give them a follow-up if you forgot who they were. So make sure you write down the names, or email addresses, or phone numbers, or however you're contacting people, that you can check them off and make sure that you've surveyed them twice. Once before you educate them, and once after. So any questions so far? No? We'll keep going. we'll talk a little bit about how you can get your message out. So this is different ways you can do that education part. So there's lots of different ways you can do that, and there's lots of ways to make it fun, too. So you can have your class make some posters and put those up around the school. You can have your class give a presentation in the gym in front of the other classes. You can make cool little flyers to mail out to people or to send home in backpacks to parents and whatnot so they can learn about your parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles, whoever you choose, can learn about the water issues. But you can also make fun little videos. So if you wanted to record your class, say, doing a dance that teaches people about water issues, or a funny video that tells a story that also teaches people. There's lots of options, and you guys can really come up with a bunch of creative ways to teach people about the issue that you've decided to pick. And there's really no rules on how you do it as long as you feel like you're making a difference. So another thing we need to talk about is understand your audience when you're coming up with how to do a presentation for them. If you're mostly going to be teaching other students in your school, you're probably going to want to do something that's really fun and easy to remember, really active. Parents, maybe it might be better to send them a flyer that they can read through quickly because they're busy and have lots of stuff going on. And really, you just want to think about who you're teaching when you're picking how you're going to teach them. So in to poster sessions, what you can do is you can have a come-and-go event. So people can come and they can look at all these different posters that have all this information on them. You can have people ask you guys questions about your posters. And a big thing is having some snacks there usually helps get people to come to the poster sessions. Another thing you can do is a formal presentation. So you guys could, like I said, have a big presentation in your school gym in front of all the other classes. And you can keep on that way if that's what you wanted to do. And you'll have kind of like a PowerPoint like the one I'm doing for you, or flip charts, whatever you'd like. But like with this one, it is more of a rigid time commitment, where the poster one is a lot more flexible and people can come and go a little bit easier. Another thing you can do is brochures or flyers if you don't want to fold the brochures up. So these people can take home from school, or you can hang them up around the community and people can just flip through them and look at them. It's a less direct form of communication, which means people can't ask you questions if they're wondering about something, and it's easy to get lost in backpacks and whatnot. But it also makes it a little bit easier for people who can't necessarily come to their school to learn about the water issues. Again, for the videos, you can make them really funny, you can make it really entertaining, and you can show exactly what issues you're talking about, and you can kind of demonstrate visually. And people remember things a lot better when they see an actual example of water being wasted or how much extra water is used. It's one thing to say, you use 50 extra gallons a year when you shower for 5 minutes longer than you should, to someone actually showing you a giant tub of water full of how much water you wasted by showering longer than you should, or leaving your water on when you brush your teeth. So remember, like Nicole said, you can use a whole bunch of these ideas. You can use one or two. You can make combinations. It's really up to you guys, and you have a lot of flexibility in what you want to do to teach people about your water issue. So just remember, if you do hold an event, like a poster session or something like that, make sure that people fill out the survey before they start talking to you about what's on your posters, or before they look at the posters. Because if they look at all the posters and learn stuff before they fill out your first survey, you're kind of going to be in trouble because everyone will already have been taught, and it won't really seem like you've changed that many people's minds. So, and then again, words. So they complete one as they're leaving, or you send one out to everyone who came to the event so they can put everything that they learned from you guys and from all of your super helpful educational material. So, like I said, it really just depends on what one works best for you guys and for your different age groups. I know the 7-8s might be able to do a lot different than the grade 2s and what would work for them. So really just you guys can do whatever you'd like and figure out what works best for you and from there. Does anyone have any questions about how you're going to reach out to people and teach them?
Talk for a second about how it's not just the attitudes and the information, but it's them actually taking action and conserving water. So you might want to do, for example, a first survey in assembly and invite any parents or people you're going to involve in the project, and then have an educational event like a couple weeks later or whatever, and then have a follow-up survey be maybe a month later or something, so that they have a chance to conserve water and to tell you how much water they've conserved and what they've changed about their actions.
And that's really all we have for our survey or for our webinar today. The next one will be on December 4th, about 2 from today. And that one's going to talk about how to do that follow-up survey that we've been talking about throughout this presentation, and how to kind of reach out to those people again or track them down and encourage them to answer that survey. So if no one has any other questions, we'll end it there. But if you guys did want to kind of talk a little bit about the ideas you guys have, if you have any yet for the water issues, we can do that.
Does December 4th work for both of your classes?
We'll make it work.
The 4th. Does December 4th work for you guys? Monday, so it'll be same time as this on the Monday. Again, our PowerPoint will be uploaded to our website right after this, so if you guys need to look at it later on, once you're a little closer to sending out your surveys or educating people, you can do that. But like I said, any questions about the issues you guys have been thinking about? All right, well, that's good. It means we've been giving us all the information you need. So that is everything for today, and we will see you guys 2 weeks from now. Unless, Nicole, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so. I think it's important to get started on the project because the course will be due, I believe it's in February. So it might still sound like quite a ways away, but remember that the holidays are in there and that December is often a very busy month. Also remember that you do need to give people time to change their actions and to track how much water they conserve.
Great, so we will see you guys 2 weeks from now. Thanks for coming to the seminar. Bye-bye, everyone.